4-2 after 2 weeks into the season. How have things shaped up for this team so far?
Well, the team's doing well. You know, we're competing in all our matches. If anything, we just have to find a way to win those close sets at the end of 23-24, 24-23, 25-24. We got to win those sets. And if you just take 2 matches, Kansas State, Miami, or Florida, you turn 2 of those around, we're 6-0.
You talk about that closeness in each set. What does that tell you about this team right now?
Well, I think we fight all the way through. I also think that we put ourselves in a position to win. We just need to make sure we get better every week because we're getting close to the Pac-12 season and the competition is just going to be one step up.
Pac-12 is a gauntlet, but this team has also undergone a bit of a gauntlet with the travel schedule early on. 3 straight weeks in the Central Time Zone. How is that going to prepare for the UCLAs and the Stanfords and the Oregons of the Pac-12?
Well, we knew that our first 2 matches are away, at Oregon and at UCLA. Same time zone, not a great travel trip, but so we've really put our team under a lot of pressure with the travel so that when we get back home, that's really not a big first week away. And I think it's going to prepare us because we've gotten into a routine in traveling. We've played each tournament in a designated site where we knew there's going to be at least one really good team there. And that's a purpose of getting ready in preseason for the Pac-12.
You mentioned the preseason tournaments, and upcoming this weekend is Penn State, UIC, and DePaul in Chicago. Penn State's number 2. How do you approach this weekend?
Well, I think Penn State is one of the great premier teams in the country this year. You just have to go in there and say, you know, we play this team 10 times. They may win 8 or 9, but not tonight. And we have to just take it to them. And they have played both their 2 preseason weekends at home. So this is their first road trip. And I think we just have to put a little bit pressure on them and play with an attitude that we have nothing to lose. We go out there and we just really go after them from the beginning. We've got to serve the ball tough and we've got to deflect their hitters with the block. They have some exceptional hitters and you have to block them because it's going to be a short night if you don't put a good block against Penn State.
You were on the radio earlier today and you mentioned that you have a lot of connections with this tournament with the other schools. Tell us a little bit about some of those connections.
Well, Russ Rose and I are dear friends. Russ has been at Penn State since 1979, and he and I started, he was in a physical education class of mine that I was teaching in 1972, 73 in the Chicago area, George Williams College, before I became the head coach of men at Ohio State. So I know Russ a long time. The lady that's putting the tournament on, Therese Boyle, Therese was an All-American at University of Pacific for me, and she organizes this tournament. She's from Mother McCauley, South Side. I had several kids from the South Side on the UOP teams in the 70s and 80s. Then I have a lot of friends there. There's people that I grew up with in Chicago. My sister's there. My son is going to come out and see the game. Several dear friends of mine. In fact, one of my old assistant coaches at Ohio State, Carl Garant, is going to be in Chicago and going to see those matches. So lots of people that I'm going to see. That's exciting, and it brings back a little bit of nostalgia having grown up in Chicago, but I'm looking forward to it.
Early on, you've relied a lot on Kimmy Saxton and Erica Nasser, and you said that you've relied on them. How have they done with that challenge so far?
Well, I think there's a lot of pressure on both those kids because they have to carry a big offensive load for us. And I think for us to really be good, we can't just rely on those 2 kids. We've got to spread the offense out. We've got to not have Kimmy swing 76 times in a match because that's going to be tough to do on a weekend of a Pac-12 schedule. And we need to just diversify our offense a little bit more. We're passing the ball well enough. Our serve reception is really good enough to really diversify our offense. We have to get our setting a little bit better to set the right people at the right time, make sure that we isolate our hitters one-on-one or one-on-none against the block. Those are things we need to do. But both Kimmy and Erica have played well. I think Kimmy had really a great match against Illinois State in set 4 and 5. Erica continues to hit good numbers, but she has to get a little more consistent as we play match to match.
Obviously, those 2 get a lot of the attention because they are primarily offensive players. Then you have a player like Becky Defoe, who is a defensive, genius with her digs. already more than 130 digs at this point in the season. How has she been for you guys?
Well, she's been spectacular. I mean, if you're averaging over 8 digs a set, that's unbelievable. I mean, 4 digs a set is great, and she's almost doubled that. And sky's the limit for Becky. You know, Becky's a late starter in the game of volleyball. She never played club volleyball. She's a terrific 3-sport athlete in high school. She's done a lot of great things. Her playing on the A2 team this summer really helped her, because she all of a sudden sees that there's a whole world out there of really good volleyball players, and how do you fit into that? And she's just stepped it up, and I think she's been just phenomenal in the backcourt for us.
Okay, and getting back to the schedule a little bit, you play 14 straight matches on the road before you actually come home on September 28th, but then you're going to have 10 of those last 18 matches at home. How much does that benefit you to have such a home-heavy schedule toward the end of the season?
No, I think it's terrific. I know when we looked at our schedule and we knew that we'll be at home at the end of the year, it's going to be less travel for us. We're in school at that time. It's later in the year, so you're going to get beat up. You're going to just be tired of traveling, tired of practices. Your body's going to be a little sore. I think being at home is going to help us a lot at the end of the year.
All right, Terry, thanks for your time and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.